I share greetings and goodwill to you all once again, my fellow natural native earthly humans the world over. Yes, this is yours, truly I, the Mystic Philosopher, and welcome to part 2, the continuation of my series of talks titled Can Africa Be Set Free? Can Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, be set free? Now, if you haven't yet watched or listened to part 1, I ask that you please do so before going forward with this part 2, or please do so at your as soon as possible. So, as mentioned in part 1, our source and most honorable African ancestors have risen up and anoint a young African man, a young African brother, a young African lion to stand up, defend, and lead his people to victory over the evil and over their evil and malevolent enemies. Now, in this part 2, I ask that you please join me and focus on and let us reason together for a few moments on these 3 words: the word young, the word old, and the word strong. And to place emphasis on the point that I'm making, and the truth here in this part 2, I will borrow and read for you a phrase from the Adamic Race History and Holy Book. And it goes like this, and I quote, "Young man, I call upon you because you are strong," unquote. So why did this God call upon young men? Or why did God call upon young men? The answer is simple and very straightforward. And it is also given here. It is because they are strong. Now, on the continent of Africa today, our source and our most honorable African ancestors have called upon, risen up, and spiritually anoint a young man that is both mentally, morally, intellectually, emotionally, psychologically, temperamentally, spiritually, physically, metaphysically, energetically, and otherwise strong to stand up, to defend, and to lead his people to victory and prosperity over their enemies' evil plan of slavery, continuous domination, exploitation, and destruction and death. Now, please note that it did not say, "Old men, I call upon you because you are strong. Old men, I call upon you because you are wise. Old men, I call upon you because you are experienced. Old men, I call upon you because there is no one else to do the work. Old men, I call upon you because only you can do the work." Not at all. I ask that you please note that they did not call upon some old man or some old woman for that matter. They did not call upon someone that is old and weak, both mentally, morally, intellectually, emotionally, psychologically, temperamentally, spiritually, physically, metaphysically, energetically, or otherwise. No, they did not call upon someone that evidently everything on them and about them has failed or is failing. They did not call upon someone that is literally 50 to 90% already dead. As the saying goes, they did not call upon someone who already has 1 foot in the grave or with only their head left hanging out of the grave, figuratively speaking. Nor did they meaning our source and our most honorable African ancestors, call upon someone, be it man or woman, who is old and who, because of their sins, because of their selfishness, their dishonesty, their greed, their iniquity, their immorality, their baggage, or someone that has the blood of innocence on their hands and the thoughts of wickedness in their heart, or someone someone with a sneered conscience, someone that is so corrupt that they are tormented and haunted by their own guilt, by their own wickedness, and consequently they are themselves fearful of death, literally terrified of dying and meeting their maker, or be judged by their own conscience. Not at all. They did not call upon such a brute. For your information, when our source and most honorable ancestors call any of the aforementioned old men or women, is definitely not for service or to do work for them or to do work for our people. But it is for them to come home. It's to call them home. All ye who are weary, come home. My thinking and analytical listeners, I ask that you please just think about it for a moment and ask yourselves this question. If the colonizers, the human traffickers and slave masters' own exploitative system rejects us and retire us from working, from laboring and slaving for them, and maybe not in words but by their actions, they send us home to pasture, to wait, to exhale, meaning they send us home to die, or at best send us home to hopefully live and enjoy the fruits of our labor. And why? Because they say and they know we are old and can't handle the work anymore. They say and know that we are not productive enough anymore. They say and know that we are slowing down and thus slowing down their progress, slowing down their development, and of course, that which is of the most importance to them, their profits. They say and know that we are too old, too weak, and thus we are useless, meaning we have less use. Now, if our wicked colonizers, oppressors, and slave masters know this, then why do you think that our source, our God, and most honorable African ancestors would want to call us to or for service when they know that some of us can hardly hear anything? When they know that some of us are senile, when they know that some of us are equipped with hearing aids and other gadgets, when they know that some of us are on all forms of pharmaceutical drugs just to keep breathing, let alone to rise us up, when they know that some of us can hardly roll out of bed by ourselves, some of us can hardly get up from a chair, let alone walk and go on a tedious journey. And so it begs me to ask the following 4 questions. Number 1, if not even God or the ancestors are calling all men or all women, all people, to lead and govern his or her or its people, or their people, then why are there so many old and literally half dead, or even, may I say, 3/4 dead men and women in leadership and rulership positions and in positions of power and authority in governments in Africa and elsewhere all over the world? Why? Question number 2. Who or which God, if any, has called them to lead and govern? Or who or which God, if any, is calling them or to them, all people, to lead and govern? Question number 3. Why are there so much suffering, inequality, injustice, unfairness, unrest, repression, oppression, exploitation, etc. by the people under most, if not all, of these governments and systems of control, where the leaders or the leadership are old men and possibly old women? Question number 4. If this quote that I shall read for you shortly from the Adamic Race History and Holy Book, aka the Christian Holy Bible, is not only true, but it is factual, could it be that it is because of their wickedness, or is it because they are just plain wicked? And again, I ask that you please note that I did not say the quote is from the African Race History and Holy Book, but from the Adamic Race History and Holy Book. So please don't be deceived. It is not our book. I'm only borrowing from it to make a logical and practical point. And now I quote, when the righteous reign, or when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, unquote. Proverbs 29 and verse 2 from the Adamic Race History and Holy Book. When the righteous, meaning when upright men or upright women are in positions of authority or rulership and leadership, the people rejoice. The people they rule, the people they lead, the people they govern rejoice. The people are happy. The people are glad, the people are healthy, the people are prosperous, the people thrives. But when the wicked bear it rule, when the wicked are in power, wicked also mean Selfish, when the elitists, when the classists, when the imperialists, when the racists, when the boastful, cocky, greedy are in power, the people what? Mourn. The people groan. The people are sick. The people languish. The people are unhappy. The people suffer. The people complain. The people protest. The people demonstrate. You name it or you name them. Now, if this is indeed correct and factual, then could it be that the suffering, the inequality, the injustice, the unfairness, the unrest, the repression, the oppression, the exploitation, etc., of all the people that are under the leadership and governance of some of these, if not all of these old people, but especially old men in power on the continent of Africa, is because they are selfish, meaning they are wicked? I'm just thinking out loud. Or, now you know. Now please join me in part 3 for the continuation of Can Africa Be Set Free? Can Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, be set free? In the meantime and between time, here is willing that you be more and more and much, much more. And definitely not be less. Don't be less, aka bless. Or don't let no one be less you. For I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe, 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 I say.